Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Unimate, which is one of my favorite products that we have at Unicity. So basically what Unimate does, or the brain is the command center of the body. If you think about the brain, it basically controls everything that we do, everything that we think, the way that our body interacts with the world. If our brain starts to get, if the metabolism of our brain starts to get off balance, we can start to have problems with not just the way our body works, but also the way that we think. So we can have mood problems. Lately, I've been, like Trent said, I've had a bit of an expanded role in the company, and I've been a lot like this lady underwater sometimes. I feel like there's just so much going on. It's hard to respond to everything at once. It's hard to really even find my motivation. And when I have those problems, that's when I start to think about Unimate, because with Unimate, you get cognitive balance, and the overall outcome of that cognitive balance is healthier mood, healthier endurance, and overall body health. So this is Unimate. It was originally designed as a mood boosting supplement to balance the metabolism of the brain. And I tried it probably about 3 months after it came out and just fell in love with it. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with it later. First, I'm going to talk about what Unimate is. Unimate starts with a process in which we handpick leaves, the yerba mate leaves, and then it goes through a special fire roasting process. And that fire roasting process is important because it actually makes the active components in the yerba mate leaf more available so that we can get them out of the leaf. Then we do an extraction process to pull those compounds out of the leaf. Then we concentrate it. And then the last step is a purification process. If you are familiar with Unicity and familiar with Unimate, you would be familiar with this process. One of the key things about this is that we start from a yerba mate that's kind of a little bit special and unique. At Unicity, we don't just go to the store and buy cheap raw materials. We like to try and use raw materials that we know a lot about and that are unique. And so what we do is we actually have a Unimate Research Institute where we study how to grow yerba mate in ways that are actually specific to allow for that yerba mate to have the highest concentration of bioactive molecules possible. So we're not looking for taste. We're not looking for the number of leaves that we can grow. We're not looking for crop yield. We're specifically looking for bioavailable molecules. We're specifically looking for bioactive molecules. And the result of this process is that we have 375 times the chlorogenic acid of a standard yerba mate powder. This is one thing that really bothers me when people call Unimate a yerba mate drink. It's not a yerba mate drink at all. One of the key materials in it, one of the key raw ingredients is yerba mate, but we've gone through this special process and changed it so much that it's no longer really a yerba mate drink. If you go to the store and buy a yerba mate tea or one of those yerba mate drinks that you can get in the refrigerated section in the store, you could drink it and you're not going to get a real significant effect from it. With Unimate, we have significantly higher amounts of chlorogenic acids, which is one of the key components. There's also other key components, triterpenes and things like that, that are critical for its function. But chlorogenic acids is the one that we tend to highlight because that's the one that's really responsible for metabolic health of the brain. So we've done clinical studies on yerba mate, and we've done a couple of them. One of them is the Oxford Happiness Clinical Study, and another one that we did in Zurich, Switzerland. And I'm going to go over the results really quick of those clinical studies. The Oxford Happiness Study, this is actually a really cool study because if you look at one of the major things that people struggle with, it's overall happiness, overall mood. I mentioned earlier, I just started into this new position, and it has been overwhelming because I have so much going on. If I just let myself get overwhelmed, suddenly I'm not productive anymore. I'm not doing the things that I need to do. and I'm getting behind, and things are getting worse, and all snowballs. So I take my Unimate, and that actually helps me to feel better, to feel like I can accomplish what I need to accomplish. It makes that mountain of work seem much more manageable. And that's shown in this happiness score. There's also data that shows that it promotes healthy blood glucose, data that shows that it promotes healthy blood lipid levels, healthy cholesterol levels. There's data that shows that it promotes healthy blood pressure. We have data that shows that it actually promotes a decrease in body measurements. So a decrease in waist circumference, decrease in average weight. And this is a result of bringing metabolism into balance. Unimate was never supposed to be a weight loss product. It is a product that was designed to bring the body and the mind into balance. But as a result, we're seeing significant changes in body measurements and overall body weight. This is one of the studies that I really wanted to talk about because this is kind of my thing. Trent mentioned that I'm into powerlifting. I'm going to tell a little story here about what happened to me when I started using Unimate. And basically, for me, when I started at Unicity, I wanted to try and find any product that could give me an edge in competition. And I was taking several different products, but I started using Unimate, and the way it made me feel immediately made me say, wow, I've got to try using this as a pre-workout, because when I take Unimate, I feel like I can do anything. Those days that I don't want to go to the gym, I can go to the gym and I can still get a great workout. So I need to be using Unimate as a pre-workout for the mental benefits. Now, I didn't know about this data at the time that shows that it's actually doing a physical change in my body to help support muscle cells. So this data basically shows that when you assault a muscle cell and put oxidative stress on a muscle cell, Unimate can actually protect those cells. So it can help reduce oxidative stress. Now, what causes oxidative stress in muscle cells? Exercise is one of the key things that causes oxidative stress in muscle cells. So this means that your body can recover faster. You can work out longer. You can work out harder. And interestingly, as a result, we've actually been able to demonstrate an increase in both aerobic training and resistance training. And for me, this was huge. I'm using Unimate because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I can go to the gym and do a great job in the gym. And it turns out all of a sudden I start hitting personal bests all the time. And my most recent competition with using Unimate is a key portion of my workout routine. I was able to actually set several world records, a world record squat, world record bench press, and a world record total in my weight class. So Unimate was really key for me. I had never really been able to put it all together on the platform until I added Unimate into the mix. Now, this last study is another really interesting piece of information, and this is all about ketones. And what ketones are, when your body stops using sugar as an energy source, eventually your body changes to using fat for an energy source. Glycogen is what the polymer of sugar is called that your body stores. Fat is your polymer of fats that is stored. When your body breaks down those fats, it breaks them down into ketones, just like glycogen gets broken down into sugars. Those ketones are what your body uses for energy. And specifically, your brain loves ketones. Your brain functions better on ketones. And it turns out that when you take Unimate, the only product that I know of on the market worldwide that actually does this, you actually start to get an increase in ketogenesis. That means your own body starts to produce more ketones. This is great for a couple of reasons. One, it means your body is more efficient at burning its own fat, which is great. We want to burn our own fat. You don't want to lose weight and have it be water. You don't want to lose weight and have it be muscle. You want to lose weight and have it be fat. So that's great. It helps your body burn fat. Another key aspect of this is if I'm not eating, I start to feel hungry if I'm used to digesting sugar. But if my body has fat reserves that it can efficiently use, then I'm not going to feel hungry as quickly or as easily. That's one of the reasons why people love the keto diet, because the keto diet, you don't get those cravings because your body can use ketones for energy. So when you take Unimate, your body becomes more efficient at using ketones for energy. So basically, Unimate is, to me, the ultimate performance booster. It's all about mood and motivation, but it also has these other aspects because you're balancing your metabolism of your brain. You support healthy blood glucose. You support healthy cholesterol levels. You support healthy blood pressure. You support a healthy body weight. And it also promotes ketogenesis, which is totally unique. There's no other product that does this, which helps our body use stored fat for fuel. It's basically the ultimate productivity booster. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now, and I want to see if we can transition over to Micah. Try to introduce to Micah a little bit, and he's been using Unimate in his training as well. He is basically an elite level marathon runner. This guy can run a marathon, and his pace for a marathon is a little under 5 minutes and 30 seconds per mile, which I can't even do 1 mile at that, and he does like 30 mile or 26 miles that way. I guess that's a marathon.
Hey guys, am I heard?
You're good.
Yeah, works. Okay. Yeah. Like Mike said, I'm Micah, and I'm now in the Unicity wellness section here in Orem, Utah, and I love Unimate. I'd never tried it before, or any type of mate beverage or yerba mate beverage, but when Unicity came out with it, I decided to give it a try. And the first time that I gave it a try, I almost felt a little edgy, but in a good way. Like if someone asked me to do something, I was like the energy bunny. I'd pop up out of my chair and I felt like I could go run and do it. Now I've seen the benefits of it in my athletic pursuits, but also like Mike talked about, the chlorogenic acids in there really do make a mental difference. Where I've noticed it the most, the way I would describe it is a willingness to either go through pain or a willingness and a desire to push harder. And that's unbeatable as an athlete. As I've been using it, times where maybe I would have normally given up or thought, hey, maybe I should relax a little bit, I have this desire, this determination to push further than I've ever pushed before. And it's noticeable. It's noticeable in all pursuits. So both in my work life, in my athletic endeavors, I have this desire to be more than I've been in the past. And so, and it lasts. That's what's incredible. Before a race, just in June, I went out to Minnesota and ran a new personal best in the half marathon. Each of my miles was in 5 minutes and 8 seconds for 13 miles. And I took 2 servings of Unimate that morning. And I have never felt so confident in a race. I actually did what they called negative splitting, which I ended the race faster than I started it. And so my last 3 miles were in 4 minutes and 56 seconds each. And so the Unimate lasts, that encouragement that I felt, that mental and emotional drive to succeed and to push harder than I've pushed before, Unimate really does do that. And it can, the really nice thing about that is that mental strength can transfer into anything you like. Mike uses it for powerlifting. Marathoning is like the exact opposite event than powerlifting, but you can see he set personal bests in powerlifting, and I was able to set personal bests and continue to set them in endurance training. So anybody's goal, whether it is just to lose a little bit of weight, to push their fitness, whatever it is, Unimate is going to be great to help them in their athletic endeavors or in their academic endeavors or in busy family life endeavors. That willingness to push beyond what you've been able to push before can carry over into any aspect of your life. So that's been my experience with it. I always keep some on hand. I got some right now. So I'm kind of a junkie on this stuff. I probably have a few boxes at my house. So I have a massive run coming tomorrow. I'm already planning, getting up an hour before, pounding 2 of these bad boys. So yeah, that's been my experience. So I can pass it back over, I guess, into Trent.
Awesome, Micah, thank you. And Michael, thank you as well. I've invited another special guest who is from Canada. And this guest is the owner of the Keto Solution. He is Mr. Keto. Everything he does is keto. He eats, sleeps, breathes keto. It is his passion. And so I've invited Trevor to this call. And Trevor, I'm going to have you pronounce your last name just so I make sure I get it right. But I know you've been experimenting with Unimate and actually checking your ketone levels, like doing blood tests on yourself. We'd love to hear what your experience has been thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Trent, for bringing me on the call. Can everybody hear me? Am I okay? Am I unmuted? Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the fitness world since 1998. So it's been like a very amazing journey. I started off as a personal trainer, and in 2013, I switched over to talking about nutrition. I really have a huge fascination with nutrition and how it affects our body. And around 2015, I got into ketosis, or actually the high-fat, low-carb lifestyle. And man, I love ketones. And I heard Mike there talk about ketones, and I just got all excited because our brain and our body, we absolutely, Mike is right, like our brains and our bodies and our cells love ketones, right? So I hooked up with Trent, and I just chatted with him for a little bit. He sent me out a package of samples. And man, I took it. I get up super early in the morning. So I just want to say I'm like a super high energy guy. I get up really early in the morning, like 3:30, 3:45 a.m. I go train. I have a black coffee, and I had my Unimate like within about 15 minutes of having my coffee. And I could just feel it work, almost like it seemed like 15 minutes. And I was like, wow, I could feel it. My body started to get more focused, more alive. I felt fantastic. So my plan was to actually test my ketone levels, prior to taking Unimate, and then afterwards, or 30 minutes to 60 minutes to 90 minutes afterwards. So I brought this on camera here because I don't know if anybody has used a blood ketone meter reader before. So this is what I use. I love this product. It's just a very simple computer. It's like what somebody does to check their blood sugar level. So I measured at a 0.6 before even starting Unimate. Now, for those of you not aware of what that means, that's 0.6 millimoles of ketones per liter of blood. So that means that my body is in nutritional ketosis, meaning I'm burning body fat. My body is using body fat for energy quite efficiently. So after taking the product, I measured 30 minutes after, and it was at 0.9. So almost like a full 1.0 millimoles per liter of blood. And I was like, oh my God, like, how is this product doing this, right? I was like, okay, that's really cool, right? So, and then I went to work out. So I essentially had a amazing workout session. If you guys see me train live, like I push my body so hard, and I can really leak up, because being a marathon runner, I mean, you have to really push super hard. And same with myself. I'm a natural bodybuilder. I've been lifting weights and bodybuilding probably since 97, 98. And I love the gym and love pushing myself. But when I took Unimate, it was like a light switch went on. It was like I felt like more focused, more energetic, more in control of my body. Much like Mike had said that he had also got personal bests when he was doing powerlifting, I found for myself, I got personal bests as well, and dieting on top of that. So just a FYI, I just finished like a 8-week like lean down phase, essentially trying to lose as much body fat as I can in 8 weeks. And I lost close to 20 pounds of body fat. It was the summertime, and like I ate, like in the summertime, you're a little bit more loosey-goosey on your diet. So I really started hammering in on the nutrition. And I feel that this product, Unimate, can really add some amazing benefits to people that are wanting to lose body fat, to really want to, if they want to really transform their body, if they really want to make those changes. Unimate is a different product that can really, it definitely changed the way I view supplements, because with myself, I used to take exogenous ketones, which are just essentially ketones that you take in a drink. And I was a little skeptical, but so when I tried this product, I was like, well, it's not exogenous ketones. They're not like in a drink. So this product is literally, producing more ketones from my body fat stores, which is phenomenally amazing. And I mean, I want to learn more about the science. I'm still new into Unimate and like what it does. I mean, that would be my thing, is to learn more. How about how this product actually works? So that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, for me, I think performance speaks volumes, right? If this product, you take it and you feel better, you have more energy. You can you can go to the gym when you don't have that motivation to go to the gym. Man, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we've got Mika and Mike and me all just being like, this stuff works, right? We're setting personal bests. So that's all I got to say for now. Take up too much time.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor. So the first question came in from Bill Johnston. And I'm assuming that this has to do with all the personal bests that everybody's setting using this product. He asked, is it drug safe for like competitions, etc.? I mean, is there any banned substance in this? Is this okay?
It's totally competition safe. The only things that are in it are things like chlorogenic acid, theobromine, things like that are mostly involved with mood boosting. The ketogenic effect, we're still studying exactly what causes this ketogenic effect, but that's a huge effect when it comes to sports performance, because when your body runs out of fuel, that's when your muscles tend to fail. And if it just gives you just that much more fuel, suddenly you're going to be setting personal bests.
Awesome. Another question that came in from Emily Ingeman. How much caffeine is in a packet of Unimate?
Well, the caffeine is actually something that kind of varies a little bit because we don't standardize the caffeine. We're not looking for caffeine in the product. So it varies. It's whatever is naturally occurring in the yerba mate, but it can be between 30 and 80 milligrams.
Okay, so in other words, that plant of yerba mate over there and this one here are not going to have identical levels of caffeine in it. And since we're using natural ingredients, one packet may have slightly more caffeine than the other. I mean, I'm a person that's super caffeine sensitive, and I haven't had any sensitivity problems with this. So it can vary, is what you're saying, yeah?
It can vary, and we standardize for the chlorogenic acids and the theobromine and the triterpenes, these other molecules that we're interested in, because those are what's actually giving us the effect. The caffeine is naturally occurring in the plant, and it's water soluble, so there is some that gets pulled into the extraction process. But the exact amount of it, we don't really look at to any large extent, other than to be able to say, this is how much it has on this batch, just to keep for our records.
Okay, another question came in from Kathy Droz, great Kathy Droz in Georgia. Kathy asked, is it okay to mix it with matcha? Another great Unicity product. If they mix it together, does it defeat any of the effects of it?
A lot of people mix the matcha and the Unimate, and they're actually very complementary in their effects. Matcha is all about increasing the amount of energy that you're getting from your mitochondria, which is an awesome benefit. And then Unimate is about giving you a mental boost. So one's more of an energy product, one is more of a mental boost product, and then it also has an energy aspect to it as well with these ketones. But it's a very different energy aspect than the matcha. So they're complementary.
The increased amount of ketone production. I know that there's a video that we're going to show here in a little bit and give everybody access to this great video about Unimate. But I think it says it's like up to 80% more ketone production. And so is it equivalent to say that you could get up to 80% more fat loss while using this product than you otherwise would? Or are those two not completely correlated?
They're not correlated. Not even correlated at all. What it means is your body is very inefficient at converting fat into ketones, unless you're like Trevor and have been on a ketogenic diet or do a lot of intermittent fasting and go back and forth between using ketones and glucose. What it does is make your body significantly more efficient at producing ketones, to where if you're not in ketosis, if your body's not used to it, you can still get some of the benefits of going into ketosis. You can still get some of those benefits of burning fat more efficiently, having less cravings for sugar, being more full, feeling more full longer, but it doesn't mean you're going to burn 80% more fat.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to do a couple more questions. So if you have a question that you have not sent in, send it in here and I'll read it to Michael. Michael, while we're doing this, I know that one of the biggest hang-ups that I had the very first time I tried Unimate was, I think we're so used to like drinking drinks now and they all taste like Gatorade or matcha and they're just delicious. And my initial response to Unimate was, I mean, I think the flavoring is kind of like a citrus mint flavor. And to my palate, it wasn't sweet. It was more kind of bitter. And so the first time I tried it, I was like, I don't love it, but I'm going to keep drinking it. And now I don't mind it at all. I know that there's some good science behind the bitter taste and why it's bitter. So can you tell us a little bit more about that so that we can understand?
So there's actually a lot of brand new science that's coming out that talks about taste receptors in your body. Most people think that taste receptors are just on your tongue. And for the most part, as far as actually sensing what flavor, I mean, that's where all your flavor sensing comes from, is on your tongue. So that's where your bitter, your sour, your sweet, all those flavors on your tongue, it hits receptors and it goes to your brain and it lets your brain know what food you're eating. What people don't know is that you have those same receptors in your pancreas and in your gut. And those receptors in your pancreas and your gut, they're actually responsible for releasing hormones that help your body to digest, that help your body to know when to eat food. And one of the key things with bitter foods, for example, is bitter foods make your body produce a hormone called ghrelin, which is associated with satiety, so you don't feel hungry. And there's other metabolic processes as well. So eating a bitter food is actually helpful for your body overall metabolically.
Will Unimate break a fast?
See, that's one of the great things about Unimate is if you're on a fast and you're trying to regulate insulin levels and whatnot, Unimate is not going to affect insulin levels. What it's going to do is it's actually going to make your body more efficient at producing ketones, which is going to help you in your fast. It's not really significantly caloric, and it's not going to break your fast at all.
Awesome. So last question, is there a best time to be taking your Unimate if you're doing the Get Fit 21 protocol, all other things the same? When should we be using the Unimate?
For me, the best time, take your Unimate first thing in the morning every day, because you get a lot of benefits from taking it every day. If you want to work out, if you have a meeting, if you've got something crazy deadline that you need to get done, take it before your meeting, take it before your major event, take it before your workout, and that'll help you be productive and get through that as well. So once in the morning, and if you have something else, take it once before that as well.
Perfect.
Unimate is paving the way toward new horizons of mental and physical performance. When our body is in a state of ketosis, meaning ketone production is active, fat is burned for energy, promoting weight loss and an increase in cognitive functions. In revolutionary research studies, Unimate has been shown to increase the production of ketones in the body by 80% in participants over a period of 2 hours. Often called the fourth macronutrient, ketones are the preferred energy source for our brain and muscles over carbohydrates, protein, and even fat. Carbohydrates are the first fuel source our body turns to for energy, but burning glucose causes an imbalance called oxidative stress. Ketones, on the other hand, are a clean-burning fuel, meaning they increase antioxidant production, boosting both athletic performance and mood. In a clinical 30-day study, participants experienced healthy blood glucose levels and a resting heart rate of minus 2.2%, among other benefits. Unimate has been observed lessening oxidative stress in both skeletal muscle cells and fat cells, all while contributing to positive mood and outlook. So fuel up with Unimate and take your first step toward a stronger, more productive life.